Hello everyone, and welcome back to the old school RuneScape Trailblazer League, where we are in our final episode of the series, sadly. The last few weeks of this did not really go as I'd hoped. In fact, we're now less than 2 hours from the end of the league. I honestly thought I had like 14 more hours until yesterday, so I wasn't really prepared. I worked 2 6-day work weeks, I just haven't had much time, so the end result is I didn't even max combat, unfortunately. I would have if I had had, the 14 more hours I thought I was going to have. I don't know why I thought that. Nowhere listed, like, what time it would go away, and I just kind of assumed at the end of the day. I think it's because I'm used to, like, didn't they used to update on Thursdays? When did they start the Wednesdays? I don't know. But yeah, this is how my levels ended up. I could push it a little further. One of the last projects I worked on was just getting woodcutting and fishing 99 while I programmed. Obviously, if I'd been using that time to actually like really push combat and stuff, I could have gotten a lot more points. But I need to do my programming, and honestly, I think leagues are a little too long. Before we get into everything I did accomplish, I'm gonna say I think leagues are too long. I think 2 weeks less would be good, and it might be good if it was like kind of a time-based thing where you can spend, like, if a league is, let's say a league is 6 weeks long, for example, but maybe it lasts 7 or 8 weeks, and depending on the first day you log in starts your 6 weeks. And maybe you could even, like, take a day off. So you just say, hey, this next day I don't want it to count. And that way you could then do something else. For example, I haven't done the Christmas event yet, which it probably gets removed in less than 2 hours. Because I felt like it'd just feel like I was wasting Trailblazer time, so it'd be nice if you could do that. That'd be my thing that I say about leagues. They're just too long. I mean, it was pretty easy to get to this many points, but it almost feels like it should have been balanced a little higher and gone quicker. Like, it should have gone up to 20x XP instead of 16, and then been a week or two shorter. I feel like that probably would have felt a little bit better. Maybe been a bit more motivated to spend my time on that instead of doing other things. It's just like, eventually you just kind of want to do something else, especially since you're really just working towards a number that just gives you points for cosmetics in the end. Like, they don't even have the high scores for the first league up. I thought they would keep those up, but they're gone. So it's like, once the third league comes out, like, everything I accomplished in this league is basically gone unless you look at my cosmetic items, which aren't even linked to playing in a specific league, because anyone can buy them with future league points. So yeah, it all just feels kind of like a waste. But anyway, so yeah, that's my levels there. Combat level 117. The biggest points gain I could have easily done would be combat. I could have gotten 99 strength, defense, HP, and then the 120 combat one. That would have been 1,000 points right there. That would have gotten me close to adamant rank, that alone, and I could have done that if I had just a bit more time, because combat goes really fast when you have the 16x multiplier and all these damage boosts. So that's the biggest missing thing on here, besides the fire cape. I didn't do the fire cape. I did try one run, but I don't know what wave I got to, and it's just like, no, it's not gonna work. I didn't bring the right supplies, because I kind of thought my relics would help out a little bit more than they did against, I think, the Ketzex. I don't know. I think they're the strongest one before you get to Jad. Anyway, so here's my bank. I don't know how much has changed since the last episode. I did a lot of fishing and woodcutting, obviously, so there's a bunch of that junk in here. Yeah, all these swordfish and stuff. I did some rune crafting and things. I did get a Mystic Dust Staff. I don't think that had happened in the previous episode. That's pretty good stuff. But yeah, that's the items I have, nothing too amazing. As far as bossing goes, I did fight the Calphite Queen. I beat her. I actually beat her using exclusively melee, which is not a thing you would normally do, but with the relics, it was actually easier than me trying to use magic or ranged, because I didn't have a good setup. I tried magic the first time, that did not work. Melee was hitting a lot more often. So yeah, that'd be another thing I missed out on, is more Caliphite Queen kills, because I could have gotten a Dragon Chain body drop, which is another 250 points. And yeah, I could have done that, and I could have gotten 100 kills easy on her if I had been a little bit more prepared. Basically, if I hadn't worked those extra days at work and those extra hours of overtime and stuff, I probably would have gotten Adamant rank. But I don't regret it. I got extra money, I got a lot of things done, and as I went over this, it doesn't really matter. I would have done things differently if I had a time machine, but you know, in the end, it doesn't matter that much. Anyway, let's look at what things I did here complete. I'm just going to scroll real quickly through most of them because, I mean, a lot of them haven't changed that much in the lower tier, for one thing. I did most of the lower tier stuff earlier. I didn't even look, when I was looking at last minute point gains, I didn't even look at anything less than 100. So I probably missed out on a few super easy ones. Like, the last minute one I did was cooking 100 sharks. That was the most last minute skilling thing I did. It was only because I realized I was already almost there. I just needed to fish a few more sharks. Alright, so here's the 100 points one, where it gets a little more interesting. There's the old cook 100 sharks. I will also say it'd be really nice if you could see progress on these things. It's really annoying to not know, because I wasn't sure on sharks how many I needed. But yeah, we look at all these great things that we have here. I don't really know what to say. I was hoping to get more magic levels too, because there's a few like just cast ancient magic spells for a good amount of points just from getting magic. Getting magic 99 would have been good, and I could have. It wouldn't have been that hard, really. But it's just one of those things. I did defeat Cerberus too. I don't know if that had happened last time. Cerberus was a bit harder than I thought. But yeah, I think that had happened in the last episode. Yeah, it was not an easy enough fight where I wanted to keep doing it, at least not before I hit 99 everything. And I was planning on going to the God Wars dungeon, but that just didn't work out. And I don't think there's any like easy God Wars dungeon tasks either. Otherwise, I would have gone there. The Caliphite Queen was, you know, immediate gratification, 250 points. So that's why I went for Caliphite Queen as my go-to boss for that. But still, I mean, I did beat 2 bosses. I did better than the first league where I tried to fight Sarachnis. I don't know if I ever actually got a Sarachnis kill in that league. So I did better in this league, definitely. And I feel like if anything to take away from this league is I definitely know a lot more of the game. You know, I've hunted the herbivore, I've fought living wyverns, I've done all sorts of random things in the main game world now that I had never experienced before, even if they will be too hard for me in the main game because I won't have my relics making things easy for me. But yeah, so, I mean, admittedly, I'd never even had Void Knight armor before, so, you know, there's a lot of firsts that happened for me in this league, even if I didn't do that good overall. So now I'm sure you're wondering, you know, I've got 16,910 points here. What does that translate to in the real world? Luckily, I have got this working here so we can actually see how my rankings are. My highest ranked skill is fishing, which is at 24k. I'm almost tempted to just spend a little bit more time fishing to get that higher. I don't know how quickly it would raise. I know there's people with 200 million in skills, which I don't really know why, but there are. I saw them in woodcutting at least. I didn't look at fishing. But yeah, interesting one down here is, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Briofita, whatever. I'm ranked pretty high in that. I was tempted to work on that more, but you go through bad luck spells on this key drops, and I didn't think my chances of getting the rare drop from her were high enough to justify anything there. So unfortunately, we got stuck there. And the other bosses I fought, they all have much higher score limits, like Cerberus. I don't know how many Cerberus kills I got. I feel like it was at least 10, but it doesn't show up on here until you get 50, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so that is my high scores as they look right now. Obviously, they'll probably lower a little, given that there's still more than an hour and a half remaining in the league. Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, it's nothing amazing. We still got a skill that's not even in the top 100k, but you know, that's only because I didn't do Tears of Guthix, because I was trying to save Tears of Guthix for when I had enough quest points to get 100 tears for the Lumbridge Diary, and that never happened because of things. So, I mean, I did gain quest points. I don't know how many quest points you need to get 100 tiers, but I know it's more than 145, unless maybe you get like a really lucky run, which I couldn't sacrifice my last week on trying to get a really lucky run, and I wasn't going to gain anything super important from it anyway, so, you know, that is that. But yeah, overall, that is how the league went for me. It's a bit of an anticlimactic ending. It's not the ending I really expected, you know, a month ago, whenever things were going really well for me, and I felt like, oh, we'll do really good, get a high rank, get 20,000 points plus whatever. I don't even know how many you need for Adamant. I was in the 18,000s last I looked, but that was like the third, so it's probably 19,000 something to be ranked in the Adamant ranking, but I think Mithril's good enough. I mean, we're solidly in Mithril. The low end of Mithril's below 10,000, so it's kind of crazy how many people did so much time in the leagues. It'll be interesting to see what the next league is like. Hopefully it comes at a point in my life where I can actually dedicate 2 months of my life to RuneScape. Hopefully that would mean the channel is doing better, because ultimately the channel, how it's doing, kind of influences everything about the time I spend in the game. I'm going to be a lot more motivated and focused if I, for example, had enough subscribers to be monetized. That'd be a big thing, 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, that would definitely have helped overall. I have to prioritize being able to live in my new apartment, which costs a lot more money than the old one. So yeah, that is that though. I don't think there's anything else to really discuss. I mean, we could hop around the world, but yeah. I don't know. I think, given how things turned out, this was probably not the best setup, just because I didn't make full use of it. Like, I do think the desert was the right choice. I could have made good use of it, but I don't know. Maybe Asgarnia should have been Mauritania. Maybe. I don't really know. What did I get from Asgarnia? Like, I can't think of anything overly special that I got from Asgarnia, because I didn't make use of the God Wars dungeon. I mean, I fought in the Slayer area, but yeah, Mauritania might have been better than Asgarnia, or how things ended up. So yeah, if I could do things different in terms of selections, I think that would have been the change I had made, because Mauritania would have made Slayer a lot more fun early on, like the first 80 levels. So that would have been nice. I might have gotten combat maxed out early on if I'd had Mauritania. But yeah, anyway, that is a league. We are done. I'll be checking out all the items in a, like, post-league episode, I suppose. Whatever items I end up buying, I'll probably get some player-owned house decorations. That's the ones I'm most interested in from that store. But I don't know if they're adding that store in today's update or not. We'll just have to wait and see. I gotta go do the Christmas event before they remove that. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Sorry about this rambling video. Also, I just did that. Let's get rid of that. I forgot that was there. Alright. That's unfortunate. How long was that up on the screen? The entire time. You didn't get to see anything because I had a stupid thing on the screen. Oh well. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.